The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. This wise phrase, pronounced by the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius, immerses us in a deep reflection on the fundamental role that our thoughts play in the search for happiness and love. In a world where relationships are often tinged with suffering and pain, it is essential to explore how Stoicism can guide us toward a higher understanding of love and its relationship to our inner peace and emotional well-being. In this video, we will embark on a journey to discover how Stoicism and love can harmoniously intertwine, allowing us to cultivate healthy and meaningful relationships without falling into the abyss of suffering. Join us as we explore the depths of these two concepts, guided by the timeless wisdom of the Stoics, and discover together the path to authentic love and true happiness. But before we start, if this is your first time on my channel, I ask you to help me by subscribing and liking the video, so I can continue creating more content like this in the future. Here we teach you from the art of calmly facing the challenges that life presents us to understanding the transcendental importance of living in harmony with nature and cultivating virtues that enrich our inner being. Each lesson immerses us in a deep journey of self-discovery and personal growth. Discover the teachings of Stoicism and learn to apply them in your modern life with our ebook. Click on the description to get it right now. Each teaching gives us the opportunity to cultivate greater awareness of ourselves and the world around us, inspiring us to transcend the limits of the ordinary and pursue a fuller and more meaningful life. Welcome to this journey of self-knowledge and personal growth. We will begin our journey by exploring the foundations of Stoicism and how they intertwine with the concept of love. To fully understand this connection, it is crucial to delve into the very essence of Stoic philosophy and how its principles can shape our love relationships. The Stoics, such as Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, taught us to live in harmony with nature, accepting the things we cannot change and cultivating virtue in all our actions. These principles find echo in the very essence of authentic love, where acceptance and virtue are fundamental pillars. Stoic love is characterized by a deep emotional and spiritual connection, where mutual respect, compassion, and acceptance play fundamental roles. It is not about emotional possession or dependence, but rather a conscious commitment to the well-being of the other and mutual growth. From a Stoic perspective, love implies a commitment to virtue and moral excellence. It is an act of conscious choice, where we seek to cultivate the best version of ourselves and support our partner in their own journey towards authenticity and wholeness. The Stoics remind us that life is full of change and adversity, and that our relationships are not immune to these challenges. However, rather than resisting reality, Stoic love teaches us to embrace impermanence and find peace in acceptance of what is. The fundamentals of Stoicism and love are intrinsically intertwined. Both invite us to live with integrity, acceptance, and compassion, allowing us to cultivate deeply satisfying and meaningful relationships. Love, from a Stoic perspective, involves a detached and balanced approach to interpersonal relationships. Instead of seeking satisfaction of our own emotional needs, we focus on the well-being and happiness of others. The Stoics teach us to love selflessly, without expecting anything in return. This form of love, known as virtuous love, is based on compassion, generosity, and unconditional acceptance. Practicing Stoic love involves accepting others as they are, with their virtues and defects. Instead of trying to change people or control their behavior, we learn to respect their autonomy and dignity. This does not mean that we should tolerate abuse or manipulation in relationships. Rather, it involves setting healthy boundaries and communicating our needs and expectations clearly and respectfully. Love from a Stoic perspective invites us to cultivate relationships based on virtue, compassion, and unconditional acceptance. By freeing ourselves from emotional attachment and unrealistic expectations, we can experience a more authentic and satisfying form of love, enriching our lives and those of others. What do you think about this view of love from a Stoic perspective? How do you think you can apply these principles in your own relationships? In our romantic relationships, emotional dependence can be a significant obstacle to achieving true happiness. Excessive need for another person's presence or approval can lead us to experience anxiety, insecurity, and unnecessary suffering. However, Stoicism offers powerful tools to free ourselves from this emotional burden and find inner peace and love. Stoic philosophy teaches us to cultivate a mindset of emotional detachment, where we learn to value our own strengths and find happiness within ourselves, rather than relying exclusively on the opinions or actions of others. One of the key practices to overcome emotional dependence is self-reflection. Taking the time to examine our emotions and beliefs helps us identify the thought patterns that contribute to our emotional dependency and allows us to develop greater self-awareness and self-understanding. Self-discipline also plays a crucial role in the emotional release process. Learning to set healthy boundaries in our relationships allows us to maintain our autonomy and preserve our emotional well-being, even when we are deeply emotionally involved with another person. Additionally, Stoicism teaches us to practice acceptance and emotional detachment. Accepting that we cannot control the actions or feelings of others frees us from the suffering that comes from trying to change the immutable. Instead, we can focus on what we can control, our own attitude and response to life situations. By incorporating these Stoic practices into our love lives, we can free ourselves from the weight of emotional dependence and find greater satisfaction and inner peace in our relationships. Stoicism offers us a path to true and lasting love, based on authenticity, mutual respect, and emotional independence. From Stoicism, we understand that everything in life is impermanent, including our love relationships. By embracing this inevitable truth, we develop a greater capacity to accept loss and change in our love lives. Acceptance of impermanence frees us from excessive attachment and allows us to love more selflessly and freely. The Stoics teach us to face rejection and loss with serenity and determination. Instead of sinking into despair and pain, we cultivate an attitude of acceptance and inner strength. We recognize that rejection does not define our value as people and that loss is an opportunity to grow and learn. One of the fundamental teachings of Stoicism is the practice of emotional detachment. This involves learning to separate our emotions from external circumstances, allowing us to remain calm and mentally clear even in the midst of adversity. By practicing emotional detachment, we can avoid falling into the trap of unnecessary suffering and stay steadfast on our path to authentic love. From a Stoic perspective, we see adversity as an opportunity to grow and become stronger. Every challenge we face in our romantic relationships gives us the opportunity to develop our resilience and emotional wisdom. By viewing adversity as a teacher, we can transform our difficult experiences into opportunities for personal growth and evolution. By developing our emotional resilience, we strengthen our loving relationships and promote greater emotional connection with our loved ones. The ability to face challenges together, with compassion and courage, unites us even more and allows us to build stronger, longer-lasting relationships based on authentic love and mutual understanding. Practicing self-care helps us maintain emotional and mental balance, which is essential for establishing solid and satisfying loving relationships. When we take time to care for our physical and emotional health, we are in a better position to give love in a genuine and selfless way. From a Stoic perspective, self-care is not just about pampering ourselves, but also about cultivating virtues like self-discipline and self-determination. By establishing healthy routines and respecting our own limits, we strengthen our character and become more well-rounded people capable of relating positively to others. Additionally, self-care allows us to emotionally recharge and recover from the stresses and strains of daily life. By practicing activities that bring us joy and calm, such as journaling, making art, or simply enjoying a quiet moment, we nourish our soul and feed our spirit. Stoicism and love can go hand in hand to create healthier and more meaningful relationships. By adopting a Stoic mindset, we can learn to love selflessly and virtuously without falling into emotional dependence or unnecessary suffering. So practice love from a Stoic perspective and cultivate more authentic and fulfilling relationships in your life. If you liked our video, like and subscribe. Leave us your comments and share your experiences with us so that YouTube knows that these types of videos help people like you and we can continue creating more similar videos in the future. See you in our next video.